If anyone saw the stream from yesterday or 2 days ago, I don't know how long ago it was. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Anyway, I got this, I made this thing because I saw an app on itch that helps you, make a png-tuber-thing. And it default when your mouse goes off of it, it's, the background is green screen. So I put that in OBS and now we're vibing. So this is my old character. Her name was so dumb. Her name was Ajiako. But I have recently turned it to Pepper because that's what her name broadly means. And now I'm thinking about how I'm gonna rewrite her story. Because her story was really wild. Unhinged at best, and just cringy at worst. This little scar has actually a lot of significance to her. Because in her old story, I don't really know if I quote-unquote set it in stone, but she had this ghost friend, and I completely forgot his name, but it was something like Siren or something, I don't know, but he gave that to her for some reason, and whenever, she had powers like any other usual self-insert OC. So whenever she took her little bandana off, no, he didn't give her the scar, I should have clarified that. He didn't give her the scar, he gave her a bandana to cover the scar. And, whenever she took the bandana off, she got, wings. She got wings. I wonder if I can pull up an image of it. Hold on. File, open, there it is. This is some old art of her. This is her brother, Bentaki, and that's her sister, Chi. Ignoring this situation, the hunchback, you can see the scars here, and you can see the wings. It's beautiful. Yeah, so obviously I'm not keeping that. I'm not keeping that because that's freaking awful. So and whenever she took it off, she got wings. Where did they come from? I don't know. They legitimately just materialized. That's just how her powers worked. So I am not keeping that because that is so weird. Plus, Hunchback of Notre Dame over there. That's when I first started learning Fire Alpaca. And yes, I colored everything on one layer, and yes, I did, what is, I did merge it all down to one layer when I was done drawing because I thought it looked cool when I did that. Never mind that it was so extremely impractical. But she's not keeping the bandana. Actually, I have thought and squabbled about it a little bit because her entire character basically was just, oh, I'm so sad and I have a bandana. Like that was her entire character. So I thought about keeping the bandana. And in a reference that I made a little bit ago, she does have a bandana, but I like to think that she got, like, kidnapped because people thought she was a dog because she's a really small wolf. People thought she was a dog, and they realized that she has asthma, so they gave her a bandana because at this point they thought she was a stray. So they gave her a bandana in hopes that she would learn that when she put it over her mouth, it would make breathing easier. And I have thought about doing that, but I'm not sure, because it was so weird. A wild, stray, completely hating of humans wolf having a bandana. Like, no, that doesn't happen in nature. So I'm debating it because why didn't she just chew it off, you know? So there's that factor too. So I am really thinking about it. I'm gonna pull up the old reference that I made. Oh, pumpkin reference. There's a reference of pumpkin. Where did I put it? There it is. This is Pepper. These are her two siblings remade. He had her brother, who I've just been calling Take. He had hediochromia, but his eyes were pink and like a minty green, so that doesn't occur in nature. So I just made his eyes blue and green instead, and then their sister Chi isn't such an unnatural color, because that was actually kind of a big part of her story, her sister Chi, which I am keeping her name, since it is a little weird, but it isn't as weird as, like, Ajiako, or her brother's name was Bentaki. I was very into Japanesey names, if that wasn't clear. Straight up, I went to Google and I searched up insert word in Japanese, and then I named my characters that. There was a character that I had, she was bright yellow, not like a cream color, because who would ever want natural colors? She was a bright yellow, and her name was straight up Sun, or Sunny in Japanese. I can't make this up. This is what it was. And then her niece, cause her brother had cubs, her niece was named Sunny. And they both became healers. Which I'm probably not gonna keep those characters, like, at all. And if I do, they'll be heavily edited. Because I forgot the other guy's name. The brother to Japanese Sunny. But his name was also translated. And I'm not keeping those names. And those characters kind of suck too. They didn't suck, but they weren't good. They were baby's first characters. Let's just put it at that. So, if I do keep those characters, because the story that I've thought of now is Pepper and Chi and I forgot what I'm calling him. Let's just call him Ben as a placekeeper name. That's not gonna be his actual name. But let's just call him Ben, because that's short for his actual name. Or short for his old name. Ben, Chi, and Pepper were just the only thing that they remember ever is just being alone. And they weren't really like worried about it. But then they saw a rabbit, and the rabbit is like, or it's something like along these lines, and the rabbit is like cared for by its parents, and a bunch of siblings hop out and they're doing rabbit things. And Pepper, because she's watching it alone, Pepper is like, oh, wait, why don't we do that? So she brings it up to her siblings, and her siblings are like, oh yeah, let's try to find our parents, because we're, honestly, this kind of the story isn't really good either, but it's not as bad as the original. So these itty bitty cubs run around, and eventually they do catch a scent that somewhat resembles their own. So they find their parents, and they're like, oh my god, hi! And since they're pack animals, their parents pack, they're like, ew. What are these kids doing here? So they kick the kids out, these little cubs out, and Pepper is like, bro, what the hell, man? And they give her the scar. Because I'm pretty sure they initially tried to, like, get at her neck, but they missed, so they got her lip instead. And they scarred her lip. And then, they're like, okay, I guess we don't have parents. This sucks. So, they go and they find a pack, another pack, and they're like, hey guys, can we stay here? And the pack is like, what the hell? Why are there kids wandering around on your own? Yes, you can stay. What the frick? So they're cleaned up, because at this point they're pretty stinky, and they are taught about, like, normal wolf behaviors. Like, for example, they're pack animals and they hunt together, and the pack teaches them how to hunt. And eventually the cubs are, like, faced with an option of if they want to join, and they do. But later into their adolescent years, Pepper finds a wolf from the southern pack, because there's like 4 packs: the northern, eastern, southern, and western. They're in the western pack, and she finds this wolf from the southern pack awfully charming. So she asks for permission, because in these packs, I know this isn't a thing in the wild, but in these packs it's not unusual for wolves to leave their pack when they're older, because, you know, family trees can get a little tight. So if they want to find someone that they like outside, and they know they're not related to, hopefully, they're usually given permission to leave the pack to join the other one. And so Pepper and Chi go and join the southern pack, because Chi doesn't want to let her sister run off with a stranger, understandably. And for good reason, because this stranger's name is Lupin, Lupin, and Lupin he starts off pretty nice, but then he starts to get pretty mean. And eventually, Pepper sees him talking about her behind her back, and he's like, she's so freaking annoying, and blah blah blah. So Pepper's like, okay, I don't like this anymore, I'm out of here. So she leaves. I don't like the sky. I wanted the sky to be dark. She leaves, and she goes back to the southern pack, or the western pack, and at this point, she's a full-grown adult. Like, not a full-grown, she's still a young adult, but she's an adult now. And she meets this new wolf called Hake. And Hake is he like joined like, I don't even know what I set it to, because I play around with this in like chat AI bots to see what works and what doesn't, and I'm pretty sure he joined like not even a month ago. So he's like, hey, how you doing? And eventually Pepper, this is all the story that I have written out yet, but Pepper and Hake eventually like become mates, and and then Chi and Bentaki are like, wait, didn't you rush into a relationship when you were in the southern pack? And she's like, yeah, but this guy is different, because she still has some of that teenage angst. She still has some of it. She hasn't quite escaped its gorilla grip. So she's like, no, but he's different, guys. You don't understand. He's different. So Hake is actually a lot better than Lupin, but her siblings are rightfully concerned. So it kind of starts a bit of a rivalry with the siblings for a little bit before they eventually reconcile. Because Hake is annoyed that they think that he's gonna hurt her. Or worse, you know, like how Lupin did. And, I'm sorry, I'm not used to talking for so long. Her siblings are mad that she's being irrational, because she is. And, Pepper is mad because her siblings just don't understand. This is like, me doing this is like a callback to her original Angst Fest, which, in the original story, I saw nothing wrong with it, therefore there was nothing wrong with it in the story. It wasn't shown that there was anything wrong with it, at least. So, in this story, I am making it kind of clear that there is a little bit wrong with rushing relationships. So, eventually, after like a little while, Pepper sees Lupin at the border, and he's like, oh, hi, I came here to join the Western Pack so I could be with you. And she was like, oh, no, no thanks, I'm good, bye-bye. And when they realize that he wants to join, they're like, okay, you can hang out with Hake. Actually, can you do it more than you already do? Because they don't like Lupin either. Nobody likes Lupin. Lupin's a bad guy. Because he was, in the original story, he was, like, awful. He was extremely, like, abusive and stuff, which I don't really want to keep that, because that's really dark, and kind of, like, calls back to the angstiness a little bit, which I'm trying to cut that out a little bit. Of course, apart from getting cheap laughs, which abuse isn't really laughable at, unless you're a monster. So, I'm not really sure if I'm going to keep that aspect of Lupin in. I think I'm just going to keep the aspect of him being mean, but he's not necessarily abusive. Like, he makes snide comments to Pepper a lot, and, like, talks about her behind her back, and even, like, checks out other female wolves while she's nearby. Like, that sort of douchebaggy stuff. He's a douche, but not, like, abusive. So he joins the Western pack, and then Hake is like, "Oh, my brother," and Pepper says, "Excuse me, did you just say that he's your brother?" And Lupin says, "Yeah, we've been brothers since we were born, because that's how brothers work." I don't know why I said it like that. And then Pepper is kind of mad at Hake for a few days because she was mad she didn't tell him, or he didn't tell her. But to be fair, she's still holding on to that teenage angst with the gorilla grip, and she never communicated to him that it was Lupin who was super mean to her. So eventually they make up, and Lupin leaves because the entire point that he joined was to get back with Pepper. But since he isn't able to do that, he goes back to the Southern Pack, and they live happily ever after. I am planning on changing this a lot, but that's like the bare bones story that I have down right now. This is like grass from closer. I should probably make this a little bit like darker. I'm gonna change in hue. Is that blue? That's bluer. Actually, that should be bluer. I'm sorry. I trailed off there for a sec. I really like how the story is coming out now that I'm changing it. But good God, was it awful when I made it? 'Cause the bare bones story of it was Pepper and her siblings did live with their parents, but their parents were like #abusive, because who doesn't love either dead or abusive parents? So they leave, and well, they don't actually leave. Their parents like throw them into a river ? And I don't remember if it was actually, I'm pretty sure it was her mom gashing her lip that Pepper got the scar from. And Pepper, you know, being sad, angsty child, is like separated from her not that isn't from being angsty. They were all thrown into a stream that went the exact same direction, so obviously they're separated. They're separated, and for a while, then that's when she meets Lupin, and she's mates with Lupin for a while, Pepper, and she leaves, because at this point she has her bandana, because of course she does. And she leaves him, but when she leaves, he's actually a lot less troubled about it. He's like, oh, okay, I guess. So he has cubs with another she-wolf called Egg. Yes, that is her name. That is her name that I came up with when I was 11. You can't make this up, dude. So I don't know what I was thinking, but then I had it so Egg had a child, and then that child dandelion started, like, well, he didn't start doing anything because he was basically abandoned the day he was born. What the heck? Oh. He eventually, Pepper finds Dandelion abandoned, and she's like, what the hell, man? And Lupin is like, heh, sucks to be you, and runs off. So she cares for Dandelion, and then Dandelion grows up to be a murderer, like you do. This story is so stupid. And then, he tries to kill, Pepper, or I guess Ajiako at the time, because that was her old name. He tries to kill Pepper, but then, it backfires, and he ends up falling off a cliff. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Again, I was like 14, or not 14, oh, not 14. I was, 10 to 11 years old, so that's like 3 or 4 years of that sitting in my brain and, you know, collecting dust and all that. I'm realizing that I'm actually kind of done with this image, which is sad, because I wanted to talk more in the stream. I might make another one. I might make another drawing, so I can talk more and yap more. I haven't actually gone to the stream thing. I'm gonna check on it now, because I was so excited to start drawing. Hold up. Alright. I've gotten here. Oh, the audio is quiet. Oops. I always have that issue. And I'm also talking quietly. Hi! I'm like 30 miles away from my laptop. Just blur that. Then set that to multiply. 50. Perfect. And go to this. Alright, cool. Drawing is almost done. I want to do more effects. Should I color the line art? I really shouldn't. Ooh, my dog. I renamed him, Aries. Aries. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy, come here. Come here. Wanna say hi? He rolled over. Hi, buddy. He's so weird. Such a weird dog. Anyway, what was I doing? Right. Blending. I'm not doing this whole... I'm not doing colored line art. So instead, I'm gonna copy this and start blending it and see how it turns out. I should probably actually copy it with all the line art. Boom. Oh, hey, that actually, wait. Oh, you know, go figure. No wonder why it's on there for a reason. 'Cause it looks better. That doesn't matter, though. It does. Whatever. buddy. Oh my goodness. Oh, you found the toy. And you immediately drop it onto my chair. Go get it. I suck at throwing, and Aries loves that. Hi. He's such a cute puppy. Wrong there. He's such a cute boy. He's such a cute boy, and he knows he is. Isn't that right, buddy? Isn't that right? Thank you. But yeah, no, I am pretty excited to be remaking this story, because it's as aged and bad as it is, it's still one of the, like, more important stories that I've ever made to me, which is a wild thing to say. You know, because this story sucks. It sucks so badly, and yet I care for it so much. So funny. I'm also sick. If you couldn't hear that, I'm also sick. At some point, Pepper, or I guess Ajiako, in that story, she gets, like, a pack, and, they're not, like, officially a pack, because it's cool, and they're a group of loners, and they're so cool, and something like that. So, actually, honestly, I don't think I'm really gonna keep the angsty part of the story, because it is really funny, but that just seems to drag it. This stream was basically me just throwing things at a wall and seeing if it sticks. Which is the fun part about talking for a while on end. When I do recreate the story, I'm probably gonna make a video about it and explaining everything and telling the story and all that. But for now, I just called it the Talon, which I'm not gonna be calling that anymore. I'm gonna call it something else. Alright, how does this look? Alright, doesn't look bad. I'm keeping it. And there's that. I'm gonna add some, like, sprigs of grass. What? Alright. Oopsie. Some little sprigs of grass. This gives it a lot of life, in my opinion. What do you want your toy? There it is. Playing with a yarn ball. Like usual. Why did you drop it immediately? If I get it and you drop it again, I'm not getting it for you. Okay, you think this is a game. I'm not doing this. No. No games for you. Sprig of grass there. Sprig of grass here. And here. And here. And here. making these little bits of grass because it's so much fun. Then make these guys do something fun. Do something funky. Make them do something funky. Multiply. That looks awful. 50. Then blurring will make everything better. Oh no, it won't. Don't panic. Let's just fix up the shading shapes then, because that's more likely the issue, the shading shapes. There we go. Doesn't look as bad. Just gotta even out the shading. And then blur it. Alright, that looks better. And then to make it stand out a little bit, we can add, is there any multiplies? No. Alright. Perfect. Perfect. Right. Grass. What do you think about grass? Is that a snack? Yeah, you would probably think that because you're a dog. Talking to my dog. It's crazy that this little guy is my dog now. He's like, it's crazy to think that he's like my dog. Sure, my parents help out and all that, but apart from that, like, he's my dog. You know how cool that is? It's very cool. To have a little annoying creature follow you around and love you. And honestly, he is extremely annoying, but if he dies, I will cry. I don't like that. What else can I do? I was thinking of making a gradient. Normal. Clipping. There we go. Very... I said gentle. Gentle gradient. There we go. Add. And then use an airbrush tool to unsharpen it a little bit. Oh wait, that'll be really sharp. That basically did no difference. Alright, whatever. Oh no, my dogs are barking. That isn't Aries barking, that's the way, by the way. That's my other dog, Rocky. Oh shit, this is the wrong layer. Over there. Put that here. 50. Alright. Yay! Oh, the png-tuber thing is still working. I forgot about that. I forgot about that thing. Yeah. Anyway, this is done. Oh shoot, I set the category to gaming. That's not what this is. So that'd be all. I am planning on turning this live stream into a speed paint, which is gonna suck because my png-tuber is on it all the time. But it's fine. We're good. Everything's fine. Anyway, goodbye.